Okay, on today's episode, we talk about I buy the wrong rims for the Fiat. We'll talk about wheel specs and what you need when you buy new rims. And we talk about how you make them fit. My name is Matt, and of course you know Slow Panda. Let's get started. We're not really going anywhere, so let's get started. So to help you understand this a little bit easier, I'll break it down into three categories of bolts. You have your lug bolts, which are standard on the Fiat, difference in variation in length. Then you have variation bolts. The variation bolts have the collars that will move and give you about 2, 3, 4 millimeters of space, depending on what they are. And then you have the racing studs and lug nuts. So in those three different categories, depending on what you want to do, it will change the dynamic of how the vehicle is holding on the actual rim. So on these ones here, you have extended ones, depending if you need to put adapters on, and it'll give you a longer extension. And you can tell right away that the extension on this one, you need more bite. So that's why you have a longer wheel bolt. On the variation bolts, I ran into the problem of actually having to put different size rims on my vehicle. So on these ones, I actually have two different variations because I bought these on accident. These are actually from the Otis company, and they are not tuner style lugs. They're actually thicker, so these will work on some type of rims, but the rims I had were tuner style, and tuner style are a thinner variation of it. And you can see right here on the camera, see how thin these ones are compared to this one. So it's just that little bit of difference that will make this fit into a rim and not fit into a rim. So this was the next step that I went to. After that, I actually saved enough money and I actually bought some rims and I customized them to actually fit the vehicle correctly. So I got a 4x98 and I changed it to something a little bit more stronger. These ones made it more convenient, and they're just standard studs. So these are race studs, and you can pair them with a steel lug and stud, or you can customize it to a aluminum lug and different accents for the top. These are crowns from Likewise. These are their royal lugs. So I had lugs and studs put on the vehicle so that it would actually be easier to install. In terms of spacers, depending on what you want to do, you can run a 20 millimeter spacer on the back of the Fiat, and this will give you a more flush feel to the vehicle. When you run a spacer like that, you want to get something that will actually have the hub-centric ring, and it holds it in place so that it doesn't bounce around when it is on the vehicle, and that gives you that high-speed wobble. So that's why a lot of people don't forget to put this on. So a lot of people do forget it, and they get that high-speed wobble. So the three different categories: you got your standards, your variation, and your race studs. And that's how I learned about installing my rims. So these were my setup on the Fiat, on Slow Panda. But I did buy a wrong set of wheels. I bought a 35 offset 5x114 17x8. How am I gonna make that fit? I'll show you. So to make these fit, I actually acquired a set of 4x98 adapters, and these adapters are actually a 4x98 to a 5x114. Still running the M12 1.25, our standard lug size spec. So for this though, you have to torque it down to about 80 pounds on the 4x98 setup with a hub-centric ring, and then you put the adapter matted on top and you line it up. When you line it up, then you torque down the torque or hex keys to another 80 pounds. From there, you have the rims where you can put the 5x114s on the top. That's how I ended up having 5x114s on my 4x98 setup. That's how I put rims that didn't fit on my car on my car. I used adapters. Alright guys, so that is my video for today. Quick recap. Variation bolts, spacers, and adapters to fit a 5x114 to a 4x98. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I will be answering any of the comments down below and try to get to everybody if you do comment. I will be doing another video about the wide body or the fender flares on the next video coming up. So make sure you hit the subscribe button below and stay tuned for my next video. See you later.